So guys, today we have a very tough game up against title favourites Middlesbrough, and our form in the league has been very poor. We haven't won since last episode. Let's see how we get on today against a very difficult opponent. So guys, welcome back to the Stones Rolling On Up series, and now to episode 50. We finally hit the big 5-0. Unbelievable, really, it has to be said. When I began doing this on YouTube, I never expected to really reach 50. I thought I'd do it for a bit of a hobby and see what happens. So the fact I'm here at 50 is amazing, it really is. And with our save, we of course have done some fantastic work. The fact we're in League 1 with Maidstone at 50 episodes as well is quite an achievement, it really is. But considering how we have been doing in the previous episodes in League 1, since last time around, we have been very, very poor. If you did miss last episode, which was when we faced off against Wycombe and Ipswich in the league, then there'll be a link right above me for you to take a look at that. We ended up dropping points with Wycombe, but we won against Ipswich, so it wasn't a bad performance from the lads. However, since that episode, we have not won in the league. We have only picked up 2 points from 3 games. We've played a lot of cup games as well, but again, we've been quite inconsistent in those games as well. After we faced off against Ipswich, we then played Cambridge away, and we were quite lucky to even come away with a point here. We were down to 10 men for the last 25 minutes or so, and we thankfully scraped a 1-1 draw. Max Power got another red card. I'm getting very annoyed with Max Power. He's been suspended for about 8 or 9 games so far this season. He is very aggressive and he does some stupid tackles. So I am very close to considering just getting rid of him or dropping him because he's very frustrating to have in the side. After that, we then played Swindon Town, who are a League 2 side, away in the FA Cup, and we drew that 1-1. So we had to go to an FA Cup replay. It was a pretty decent performance. I think we were quite unlucky not to just beat them outright, but we went to a replay. After the Swindon game, though, we then played Stevenage in the stupid Efl Trophy, of course, the competition which I hate, and I've mentioned various times in this save my disdain for that competition. But we beat Stevenage in the Efl Trophy Southern Group G, because there's so many groups. And as a result, we actually won our group. We won every match in the group stage, so we qualified for the next round. But it was a good performance, and the lads played a lot of backup players, and they did pretty well. After that, though, we went away to Barnsley, a very tough side, and they beat us 2-1. It was a fair result. We didn't really deserve anything from this, so I wasn't too upset. But a very good performance from Barnsley against us. Afterwards, we then had our FA Cup replay, and we managed to get the job done this time around when we took Swindon to the Gallagher Stadium. We beat them 2-0, very comfortable performance, and it actually brought in quite a lot of money. I think this game brought in about £100,000 for the side, so it did help the team out actually going to a replay, so it wasn't that bad. And from that win, we then got drawn against Ipswich in the FA Cup, which I will come to shortly. After the Swindon game, though, we took on Fleetwood at home in League 1, and we kind of laboured to a draw. It was pretty poor from both sides. We had a penalty. They scored from a deflected set piece. That was about it. There was very little that actually happened in the game. Very much a drab match. And that's kind of how it's been in a lot of our games, it really has to be said. Afterwards, though, we then played off against Ipswich in the FA Cup second round. Only a couple of games ago from where we're at now, and it was one hell of a game. At half-time, we were 3-2 down. We ended up scoring in the 82nd minute, though, to take it to a replay with a 3-3 draw. It was a very end-to-end game. The first half, there was 5 highlights. All 5 were goals. It was insane, but we managed to just claw back a draw and are going to go to now Portman Road in the FA Cup second round replay in the middle of December. We have had our draw for the FA Cup third round, because, of course, as we're going to replay, we still know who we may face. And it will be Burnley at home. So not a particularly brilliant draw. They're now a championship side, Burnley, in game. So it's not a bad draw, but it's not fantastic. So we may well end up coming back for that later on if we get through in the FA Cup. We'll have to wait and see. But after facing off against Ipswich, we took on Wycombe at home in the Efl Trophy second round. And we just about got the job done over them. We beat them on penalties after a 1-1 draw. So we've now gone through to the third round of that competition as well. So in the Cups, we've been doing pretty reasonably. In the leagues, though, it's been very poor. 2 points from a possible 9 is very, very poor from us. And as a result, we have dropped out of the playoff spots. We do have a game in hand because where we had all these replays and so on. And our game in hand is up against Accrington, which will be one of our games today. We have, first of all, got Middlesbrough, who are top of the league and are by far the best side in this division. And then we're also going to be playing Accrington as well. So one very difficult game and one hopefully easier match for us to have today. In terms of our tactics for the first game with Middlesbrough, it's quite a rotated side. We've got a lot of injuries, some suspensions as well. Very frustratingly, to be honest with you. But I'm hoping this team can at least maybe get us a draw, possibly. We're away at Middlesbrough as well, so it is going to be very, very difficult. It's Lewis Ward in net. It's his first game in a few games because I've been playing our backup keepers in the Cups. It's then Sean Hutchinson, Dion Sanderson and Lasana Abua, who have played pretty well in our recent games. Joel Senior as a right back. We had an injury to Zach Swanson. He's nearly back fit. Danny Preston is then at left back because Sam McCallum is injured as well. So both our first choice fullbacks are out injured at the moment. Cole Palmer and Maddie Smith in midfield with Dander just in front. Dander has been playing very well, so I'm quite pleased with how he's been getting on. He's been getting a lot of assists, a couple of goals and so on in the last few games. I think he's got 3 goals in his last 5, so he's been doing pretty decently. It's then Martin Gillespie up front alongside Ugbo. Gillespie has got a slight knock. He didn't play the last game. I played Dylan Monroe because Gillespie wasn't fit, but he is pretty much fit now, so I'm going to give him the game. If I have to take him off, I'll take him off around half time or so. Hopefully this team can do the job today and maybe get us a point or maybe even 3. Let's get into it though and see how we do. So let's submit our side then and see how Borough are going to line up for our first game of what is episode 50 today. They're going with a 4-2-3-1. Very offensive side this, and having Britta Somblonga up front is not going to be easy. He has had a hell of a season, as you can see on the screen. 24 games in the league, 15 goals he has got so far this season. He is killing it, that's for sure. I'm going to say that we are underdogs because we are. I'm going to say to the rest of them, the pressure's off. I want us to go into this with no expectation of getting anything because, as Soldy said, they are the best team in this league by a distance. They really are. So here we go. We are away at what is, I think, the Riverside still in the game, and we are in a purple kit today. So it's going to be an early highlight for Borough. I'm hoping they don't score this early. They scored this early on. This could get ugly. It really could do. Oh, brilliant tackle there, Danny Preston. Really good to see from him there. That clearance, however, wasn't quite so brilliant. Maddie Smith with it there, though. Gets it up to Ugbo, who has been kind of performing pretty well lately. Hang on, Gillespie. Oh, what a save by the goalkeeper. I thought as soon as that was going to get to him, that would just be guaranteed goals because quite often the keepers struggle with those types of efforts. But sadly, it was not. Come on, are we going to get any from this corner, or is it just going to be the end of the highlight? Or is it actually going to be a Borough chance here? Please don't say they go right at the end from our corner. No, they haven't. Thankfully, we got the ball back. Another highlight here, very early on. 2 chances going to be within the first 10 minutes by the looks of it. Looks like it's going to be a very open-ended game. I mean, I'm not too surprised because we are both quite offensive sides, but Borough certainly are the stronger of the two of us. But Borough playing it out wide here to another M. Smith. I don't know what the M stands for their player. Hang on, Walker. Oh, no. Middlesbrough have scored within 8 minutes. Oh, dearie me. This could be a painful game today. I thought it would be good for us to come back for a very tough game. I was hoping we wouldn't get smashed, but I don't know what's going to happen. I think we could get quite heavily beaten today, I really do. They've just got such a strong side, and it's very much still a championship level team that Borough have. It really is. I mean, we kind of keeping the ball pretty well in the early few minutes. We had that first chance with Gillespie, but sadly it didn't go in, and now the floodgates could well open if we're not careful. Dander with it here though, gets it to Danny Preston. The fact we're having to play our 2 reserve wing backs as well isn't overly helpful, it really isn't. But Dander with some nice footwork there to get past his man. Dander gets it to Gillespie. How has Gillespie just shanked that? There was just like proper 50 pence piece said then from him. He just had a clear and open header and he just puts it miles over the bar. Such a poor effort from the youngster there from Gillespie. I will mention, by the way, with Gillespie that obviously the January transfer window is coming around pretty soon. Oh my goodness, what a decent save that was from Lewis Ward. And the January transfer window is coming around, and there's a lot of big clubs interested in Martin Gillespie. I think there's 4 or 5 teams, some from the Prem and some from the Championship, who were interested in him. So we may struggle to keep hold of him past January. And I think if we do lose Gillespie, I do think we will have a bit of an issue with getting promoted. Cole Palmer, oh, unlucky son. That was a very decent effort there. But as I say, I think without the likes of Gillespie in the side, we will really struggle with trying to aim for playoffs this season. I really do. Although it looks like we're kind of not seeing much going on now in this game. It's kind of died off a little bit. Although, as I say that, we now have got a highlight. Cole Palmer lumps up to Sanderson. Oh, he clips the bar. Decent little effort there from that set piece, but sadly it didn't go in. Looks like we're going to have a free kick from a dangerous area here. Who's taking it? Cole Palmer is having it here. Palmer whips it in. Ugbo, get in there, Ike Ugbo. Really good goal there from him. He's 13 for the season. He's our top goal scorer by a distance, is Ugbo. Having a very, very good year in League One. And very nice header there. Keeper no chance. We're back in the game. Very good from us. We've actually, the last kind of 10-15 minutes, started to dominate the possession stats and things like that. And hang on, as I say that, why do I open my big mouth? As soon as I start mentioning that we're starting to do well and get back into the game, we concede. Stephen Walker with, I think, his second of the game. I think he scored Burrows first. I don't really want to watch it again, thanks. And yeah, it's his second in the game. Oh, that's frustrating. We were getting into the game. We were having more chances. I mean, they were dominating still in possession, but and as soon as I mention it, they go and score. Right, dressing room. I'm going to say to them we're not doing badly because we're not, although it looks like Danny Preston's having a horrendous game. I'm going to say to the lads at the back, I'm not happy. And I would take off Danny Preston, but we don't have a wing-back to come on for him. So at the moment, I will just leave it as is. I do think we do need to take him off. But we've got a corner here early on. Palmer. Lasana Abua gets his first goal. The kind of forgotten man a little bit this season. With the youngster that came in, I now can't remember his name. The centre-back, the young centre-back I signed at the beginning of the season, who it's just completely slipped my mind. He had kind of taken Abua's spot, and now Abua has been very much dropped. But he's had a little run of games now, and that's his first of the season. And good to see from him. Another corner here. Is it going to go to Abua once again? He doesn't win that header, sadly. Borthwick Jackson, former Manchester United player, wins it there. Come on, Maddie Smith. Out to Cole Palmer. So much space. Was that a shot or was it actually a cross? Because I know Palmer's not right-footed, but if that was a shot, that was utterly dreadful. Thankfully, Stephen Walker doesn't get his hat-trick then. Right, I'm going to make a change. The young centre-back was Craig Thorpe. I couldn't remember what his name was, but that's who it is. I'm actually going to take Danny Preston off for Swanson. He's not kind of competent in that position, but at least he can do the job, and Preston's having a terrible game. So let's get him off the pitch, and I'm going to take off Matty Smith for Canas as well. We're going to make this double change and see how we get on. I will mention, guys, I had a brand new video that went out yesterday to do with FM21 that takes a look at essentially a who to manage. So it looks at interesting first save ideas for once the FM21 beta comes out. We've just given away a stupid penalty there. Hutchinson pushed over. I didn't see who it was. British Somblong is going to take it. I'll carry on what I talk about after this penalty. Let's see. Come on, Lewis Ward up against Sombolonga. And Sombolonga, unsurprisingly, scores a goal. His 16th of the season. I'm going to say get creative to the lads. I'm not going to change anything up tactically just yet. We're still doing pretty well, to be honest. But it was just a penalty, sadly. Very good pen from a Sombolonga. As I was saying, though, with the video that came out yesterday, it looks at interesting save ideas for the FM21 beta. So if you want to take a look at that, there should be a link right above me, and there'll also be a link at the end of the video for you to take a look at as well. Into the 80th minute here, though, I am going to make a sub. I'm going to make a sub I made the other game. I believe it was up against Ipswich in the FA Cup, and that was, rather than going 4-2-3-1, to put another central midfielder on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make Danda even an attacking midfielder on support. I'm going to make Palmer more attacking. I'm going to make Canas an advanced playmaker as well. And then Max Powell will go as a ball-winning midfielder on defend. Something like this, because I found this did help. And we'll see if it makes a difference. I'll go attacking as well. I'm not going to pull the wing-backs back at all. We'll just see how we get on. We could well just get completely overrun now, but we're losing, so at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We need to see if we can get another goal here. Come on, lads, let's try at least. There we have got a highlight. Swanson here in his kind of makeshift left back. Swanson loops it in. Not a brilliant effort. They've got a play called Walcott there. Hang on, Joel Senior. I thought I was going to get to a play. Danda! No, that was never going in. I presume that's not Theo Walcott playing for Borough. I presume that must be a region or something, because it looked like it was a centre-back for Middlesbrough. And if someone's playing Theo Walcott at centre-back in 2023, I would be worrying quite significantly. But thankfully, someone doesn't score then. I'm going to go very attacking. I don't think we get anything from this game, sadly. I really don't. I think that is probably going to be game over, a 3-2 defeat, unless we get a late chance. Doesn't look like we're going to. No, sadly, we have lost. A very even game. I think a 3-2 defeat is quite harsh. I think a 2-2 would have been fair. but sadly we couldn't do the job. I'm going to say to lads, I can't fault your effort because it wasn't bad from us. It really wasn't. Up against by far the best team in the division, to only lose 3-2 away as well. Not that bad. It drops us down sadly into 8th place, but we do still have a game in hand, which is the next game we're going to be playing on episode when we take on Accrington. So if we possibly win that, we could get ourselves back into the playoffs. So I will see you at the Accrington game in a few seconds. So here we are now, ready for our second game of the episode, and what is our game in hand in the league up against Accrington Stanley. And we're going pretty much full strength. I've made a few slight tweaks to the side. Lewis Ward is starting in net as per usual because obviously he's our first choice keeper. It's then Sean Hutchinson. Lasana Abu is moving into the central defensive role with Craig Thorpe, the youngster, now coming in at the left centre back. Joel Senior is staying at right back as Swanson is still not fit. I've brought Sam McCallum back, maybe a little bit too early, but after Danny Preston's horrendous game up against Borough, I felt it's only fair to drop him from the side. Cole Palmer, May Smith and Dan all start in midfield as per usual, and it's still Martin Gillespie and Ike Ugbo up front. In terms of who wants Gillespie, by the way, I thought I'd let you know, at the moment it's Aston Villa and Leeds. Those listed teams have kept changing consistently for the past few weeks, so maybe come January it could be more teams or less. Hopefully he doesn't go, but at the end of the day, if we get a big bid, we may have to accept it. Still though guys, let's get into this game with Accrington and see how we get on in our second game of this episode. So guys, let's submit our side and see how Accrington Stanley line up for this match here. They're going with a similar formation to us. They're going with a 5-2-3 with wingers essentially. So they're going to have a slightly wider formation, but hopefully in the midfield we can maybe dominate with our attacking midfielder. Going to be tough. Accrington aren't a slouch of a side. I mean, they are struggling in the league, but they're not a bad team. I'm going to say to the lads, though, that I want us to put into our poor run of form because it's now 4 games, I think, in the league without a win. So we definitely could do with winning here today. We are at home as well. We're in the amber and black, so let's try and get a result in this one. We desperately need it because, I say, we need to sort out our form. We really do. Managed to kind of clear that header sort of. Thorpe out to Smith, and that's actually a decent header clear there from Maddie Smith. Come on, Gillespie and Ugbo with chance to be 2-on-2. Gillespie, come on. Oh, that's really poor from Martin Gillespie there. Really is. I thought I'd mention as well, by the way, guys, I covered it in my latest video that I mentioned earlier in this one, the Who to Manage video for FM21. I discussed what my future save in the FM21 beta will be. That was a very close effort there from Accrington Stanley. And in terms of FM21, the first save we'll be doing once the beta is released, hopefully around the 10th or 11th of November, is with Manchester United. There should be a thumbnail hopefully appearing on the screen for you to take a look at. And we will be managing Manchester United in the Premier League for the FM21 beta. So hopefully you guys might enjoy that save once it comes around. I'm really looking forward to doing it. Another team that obviously I support, my 2 teams I support are Manchester United and Maidstone. And Maidstone being my local side. So getting a chance to manage Man U after the horrendous transfer window this season is hopefully going to be good fun. Maybe I can actually, do what Man U should have done and brought in Jadon Sancho and a centre-back quite possibly. Have to wait and see on that one. I'm going to say to Les, because this first half has run really quickly, I'm just saying it's time to dig in and see if we can get the result. No one really seemed to care, unfortunately. I'm going to say that they have the ability to make a real difference. I'm going to say to the midfield, though, and the attackers, I'm not happy because we haven't seen enough from them. Hopefully we can see a bit more in the second half. The first half was completely dead. I mean, it seems to be a very quiet game just in general. There's been very few chances on target. Only 2 shots on target in the whole game from both sides. Very, very disappointing. Joel Senior ball into McCallum. What? Why has McCallum been done for pushing another player? Apparently Ugbo's pushed someone. I have no idea. I didn't see it. Ah, that's frustrating. I thought we'd finally broken the deadlock, but sadly we haven't. Come on, McCallum. Oh, sadly I thought Ugbo was going to get there. But obviously, guys, with us approaching January, I am hoping to make a signing or 2 in the window. There was a midfielder I very nearly signed, but sadly he failed his work permit, so I couldn't bring him in. So I am looking to bring in 1 or 2 players. Definitely I'm looking for an attacking midfielder still. I'm still not convinced by Dander. That's a red card, ref. Get him off. Thank you very much. And I'm also possibly looking for a right back as well. I'm not really convinced by Senior, and Swanson is consistently getting injured. It's very frustrating with Zach Swanson. So I am looking for another wing back. So we'll see if we can get one in. Maybe as well if I can find another striker, I might go for one, considering the fact that Gillespie could well be moving on. I'm going to take Ugbo off. He is booked and he's not playing particularly well for Tafani. We'll go for this, see if it can make any difference for us. I don't know if it will. It's a frustrating game this so far, it really is. I mean, they're down to 10 men now, so hopefully we can break the team down. I might get us to play a little bit more patiently as well. McCallum's ball in, Dan to hit it. Oh, it's wide. It was such a slow effort. I was like, is that going to float in? Sadly, it didn't. I'm wondering if we bring another midfielder. I think we maybe do. Well, actually, what formation are Accrington playing now? If actually, they haven't got any wingers on, so we're going to go wider. Tafani on the right. I don't have a left winger on the pitch now. That's a bit stupid. We'll put Gillespie on the left then. We'll put him as inside forward. We'll bring on Monroe for Abua. Put Monroe up front as a poacher. And see if doing this can do us any favours. We'll say focus play it down the wings. Very risky, this tactic, but let's go for it. They're down to 10 men, so I'm hoping maybe we can do this. Please, guys, can we see anything? Not at the moment, we can't. Oh, for goodness sake. What a frustrating game. Oh, hang on. Highlighting what is the final minute of the game. Joel Senior with the ball here. Please be careful, Joel. Thank you. Come on, Hutchinson to Joel Senior. There is still time. Senior's lumped it up pretty poorly, to be honest, really aimlessly. But Craig Forbes won it. Come on, get the ball. Get the ball. Oh, no. No, we can't lose. Okay, thank you, Lewis Ward. Come on. Anything, or is that game over? I think it's going to be another draw. Oh, it's so frustrating. It's just too many draws at the moment. It really is. I presume it's going to be the end of the game unless there's a miracle. And even though we're over the allotted time, we're just not doing anything. Yeah, another draw. Another frustrating performance from us. Just not scoring. Maybe I need to look for another striker. Oh, it's so frustrating. It really is. I'm going to say, certainly, that was not good enough. They were down to 10 men for, what, half an hour, and we couldn't score. Our game in hand, it does get us back into the playoffs with that draw, but I wanted to win. We're only in the playoffs by 1 goal currently, being ahead of Barnsley. So not brilliant, but at least we're back into the playoffs considering our poor run of form at the moment. Still, let's take a look at our schedule. We'll see what we're going to come back for next time around. Now, of course, as I've already mentioned at the very beginning of the episode, we are still in the FA Cup, but we are in the FA Cup second round replay. If we win that, our FA Cup third round game will be taking place on the 6th of January, or at least around that time. So what I am thinking we'll come back for is possibly a cup double header and have the FA Cup third round, if we get to it, of course, with Burnley, and then the Efl Trophy South third round game. So 2 cup games, 2 interesting games where we can take on some different opponents. So it could possibly be Burnley and Oxford. Otherwise, if we go out, it will be Carlisle in the league and Oxford as well. So we'll wait and see obviously who we get, but maybe it will be the FA Cup third round, which will be a nice change of pace from the league action. But that will be taking place in next episode. So guys, that just about wraps up our episode today. A very frustrating pair of performances from us, to be totally honest. No wins in today's episode. I mean, we did get ourselves back into the playoff spots just about by the skin of our teeth, but the fact we didn't at least beat Accrington is very annoying. Of course, the Borough game, we went in kind of not expecting much anyway, and it was an entertaining game nonetheless, but sadly we didn't get anything from that. And then to draw with 10 men Accrington, very, very frustrating from us. Regardless though, we are still, as I've already said, in the playoffs still, and we're still looking good in the league. And of course, we've still got a lot of our cup action on the go currently as well. And not to mention as well, with us being still possibly in the cup, we may well be coming back for a cup double header in next episode when we're into the January transfer window. So we may well have made some signings as well by that point. So it could be a very interesting episode next time around. We'll of course have to wait and see quite what happens. But hopefully guys, if you have enjoyed today's episode, please do chuck a like on it. It really does help the channel out. And also let me know down in the comment section below, do you think that we can get past Ipswich ready for the FA Cup third round? And what positions do you think we should look to strengthen in once the January transfer window comes around? Plus, if we get a big bid for Martin Gillespie up front, do you reckon we should sell? And if so, how much should I let him go for if we do get a bid? Of course, we may not get one, so we may not have to worry about it. But let me know down in the comment section anyway, and we can obviously see quite what happens in the window. Finally though guys, if you are looking forward to seeing any more of my content, whether that be in the Stones Rolling Up series here with FM20 or any of my experiment videos for FM20 as well, then do make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with everything here on LS Plays FM. Of course, as I've already mentioned as well in today's episode, guys, I have just released that FM21 video that looks at who to manage once the beta comes out. So if you do want to click on it, there'll be a link right above me here, so just click on that and it'll take you to that video. But guys, thank you very much for watching today. I will see you again next time.